Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Beast Wars Transformers Deluxe Class Transmetals Airazor. So, this is another transmetal form of a character that appeared in the original season of the Beast Wars cartoon. However, this one never actually appeared in the cartoon. There are a couple of them that didn't appear, but were still based on characters. However, the interesting about this particular toy is the fact that it is the first toy of a female character that was designed to be female from the beginning. Every other female toy that existed prior to this was originally designed with a male character in mind, including Airazor's original toy. That was not designed to be female until they started writing the show and writing bios and stuff. It was designed to be male from the start. So this now is the first toy designed to be female from the start. So let's take a closer look at this toy, and you can see that she turns into a giant mechanical hawk. Very interesting, very nice chrome going on the back here. Nice silver chrome, and absolutely no flaking of the chrome on my copy of the toy, which is very nice. Her beak is also chromed out in that nice same color, which is also very nice. Her head is predominantly white. She's got a bit of an orange reddish stripe going on around her eyes that are solid black with a little bit of like an iris kind of shape going on in them. There's a bit of orange going on these turbines here and a bit of black in the front of those turbines. Airazor is tampographed on our back, which is interesting, in the same exact font that the Transmetal Rat Trap had it. You see her robot mode head sticking out a bit there, but it's just the top of her head, so it's fine. You got robot mode chest, and then you got Hawk mode legs going on here. Blue up there, yellow down there. Large blue feet, gives plenty of support and balance. Coming to the wings, you got predominantly white wings with a nice yellow-orange to shading over to red coloration, which is very nice, a very nice touch. A little bit of chrome going on there, and some blue on this section, but this section is different because of her third mode. Same details on the other side. Underside is a little barer, but you know what, that's completely fine with the kind of colors we got going on there. Back, you can kind of see that there are robot mode feet hiding underneath the tail, which is predominantly white and has that similar yellow or that orange to red shading going on there. Though the very tip of the tail is still in white. As a beast former, she has some articulation, not a whole lot though. The wings are able to fold into that position and fold out that far. It's all just whatever that orientation of movement. There's no up and down movement anywhere. Head has no movement, though the beak can move down, but that's not accurate to how birds move. And then the only other movement is that the legs are on these ball joints, allowing them to move that way on those ball joints, which allow them to move that way, and rotation, and then are able to hinge there and out, though if you do that, you're going to reveal the robot mode fists. So, not a whole lot of posing out of this toy, unfortunately, but you know, this is very nice. Looks pretty cool. But now let's get into some size comparisons. Here she is with Legends Class Bumblebee. And you can see how she scales. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. You can see that she's just a bit longer than Chrome Dome in her bird mode, but certainly much wider wingspan. We got Voyager class Megatron. And you can see Megatron is longer, but wingspan wise, Airazor are substantially longer. And then Leader class 6-shot. And again, 6 shots longer, but Airazor's wingspan is much longer. So that's all there's to say on Airazor in her beast mode. So now let's get on to her third beast vehicle mode. So in order to do that, we are going to first fold the wings back like so. Just make sure they're in that orientation. And then just flip the feet backwards like so. They just kind of end up sitting back here, unfortunately. There's nowhere for them to go. They just kind of get out of the way for this form. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take these bits, that slot and that slot fit into those tabs right there and there. And then you're going to fold that out like so. Come down here, pull this peg out and orient it, and then tab this top here, which is clearly designed to be on an angle, into that hole right there. Like so. Repeat that on the other side. Untab, straighten, fold out, bend it around, bend it all around, tab it in, and there, sorry, and there you have Airazor in her beast vehicle sea wing mode. It's basically like supposed to be like a sea airplane kind of a thing going on there. Okay. Doesn't pull it off quite as great as the rat trap that we saw the other day. Like you got the wings landings like that, so you got that. But the biggest problem is really how the feet just kind of fold in the back and just kind of sit there. Really, like that's like a half effort, really. That's really like a half effort, unfortunately. Again, not a whole lot to show off because you saw most of it in the other form, but taking a closer look at the sea landing bits. It's all blue molded plastic and just some details to like springs and that kind of molding on there that would be expected. Quick size comparison. Bumblebee again. You can see how that scales. Chrome Dome. You can see how that scales. Megatron. You can see how that scales, and then actually, just the like extra inch that having those forward give, those deployed gives, makes her about as long as Megatron, which is interesting. And then, and actually, I did forget that you do slide them back on those bits right there to fold it to bring these engines out. That's just a minor thing that doesn't really do a whole lot, but just a proper transformation note. And then leader class 6-shot. So yeah, now we're done with the whole of the beast vehicle sea wing mode. Now let's roll right along into the robot mode. So we're just gonna undo these and fold them back into position, into the wings. Just undo that, fold that back in, fold that back in. All right, now, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this section, we're gonna pull it out, and then we're gonna take these arms, pits, and fold them out on that double hinge from where they were into where they just went. And watch that, like so. Just fold that out like so. We'll come around, we'll come underneath, and using your finger, you will poke Airazor's head out from that gap. Admittedly, because of how the hinge works and how the head is shaped, that is a bit of a tight fit, so you are probably gonna have to finagle it around to get the head through. But once you are done with that, you will fold this up, and these two pegs right here, which went into those two holes in the alternate modes, go up here for the robot mode. So like so. We'll fold those around and then let's flip the claws back. Fold those around, flip the claws back. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come around and we're going to untab these chrome bits right here. There is a little bit more chrome flaking on the pegs, but that's because the pegs have to rub together to get tapped together, so that there's not a whole lot of chrome going on in those pegs, those tabs, as you can see. But you'll untab those and fold those sections out. You're going to come around and rotate them around like so, and then fold them back like that. So there's where it was, and that's the orientation it's going to end up going. So again, rotate that all around and then fold it back. Next we're going to come, Next we're going to come back here. We're going to lift the tail up and then just get the feet out, excuse me, and around. And then this tail just folds down in the back. Okay, Airazor, can you keep your chest in place, please? You'll fold the beak down to get some clearance for the going inside, and then this whole thing just rotates around and collapses inside her chest. And you just straighten her feet out. If you haven't done already, collapse the tail section onto her back. And there you have Airazor in her robot mode. And wow, and I thought Rat Trap was shell formery. I mean, she's got the claws, I guess, but like, no, and the head goes into her stomach, but it's not the same level of shell former as Rat Trap, because like it actually covers around her. It's more like a jet former, where like the jet's just underneath the vehicle mode and like the jet bits don't really integrate. But yeah, you got a whole lot of robot that does not look a whole lot of like the beast modes. So, and you are also left with this freaking enormous backpack, which if you like try to do anything with the wings that is not having them on the ground, Airazor is not going to stand. Like look at those legs. Look at those legs. And look at that backpack. And tell me how she's supposed to stand with all of that weight going on her back. Unfortunately, you do definitely need the wings down on the ground, touching, in order for her to have proper support. Again, very unfortunate, but you need it. You really need it with this toy. But taking a closer look at Airazor, you can see her head is molded in yellow plastic and has a lot of red going around with a little bit of white on the eyes. She doesn't have a mouth plate, but she's got a yellow... she doesn't have a mouth, but she has a yellow mouth plate and a bit of a chin going on there. You can see her chest, predominantly yellow, a bit of like, like a goldish brownish kind of color going around some of the chest, and then the silver circular right there. You got a bit of white on the abs, but that's the Hawk mode head, and the crotch is yellow. All of the legs are the whole of the leg is yellow. It's just the foot that is brown, though there is a little bit of brown shading going on the sides of the legs, where there's a little bit of like beastie kind of thing, though that kind of looks like hair as opposed to anything else, which is weird because hawks don't have hair, they just have feathers. But especially how this mold's making me feel more like it's probably supposed to be molded like feathers, but how it is and the kind of color, it's making me think more hair than feathers. So I don't know. Upper arms, for the arms, you got upper arms are blue, lower arms are yellow, and then you still got the blue giant talons hanging off her forearms, as well as the yellow fists going on there. And then the backpack is the backpack, and everything on the backpack you saw in the alternate mode, except you didn't see the underside of the tail. So you can take a look at the underside of the tail now, if you want. She does not have any accessories. However, she does have an attack mode, I guess you could call it. So what you'll do is you'll take those out. You'll fold those bits out. These are just the pieces from the Sea Wing mode. And you'll fold those out, and then you'll rotate that around and fold it up like so. Do that to the other side. Pull it out. Rotate that bit out. Sorry that there's a lot of shadow. Rotate that around. And then boom, you got an armed and ready Airazor. Yeah, you got that going on at the very least. So she has something. Just gonna fold those away, and then we'll get into the articulation on Airazor. Well, besides all the articulation with the Sea Wing bits. So for the articulation, her head can rotate a full 360 degrees. It is able to bob back and forth and a little bit of side-to-side motion. That's all on a ball joint. The arms are on ball joints and could rotate a full 360 degrees if they didn't have the extra large, massive backpack on her back. They are able to bend out that far, that much. There's a ball joint in the elbows that allows for a full 360 degree rotation, as well as barely over 9 degrees of bend at the elbow. And I guess you can have these claws bend if you want to get for like a claw attack mode or something. Nothing at the waist appears because of how it transforms, but the legs are able to bend that far forward, if I can show that off clearly, that far back before we start running into backpack stuff. They are able to bend that far out. There is actually a hinge at the knee, so there's no thigh swivel of any form. And her knees actually can only bend about 60 degrees, I'd want to say that is. But her feet are able to pivot up that far and back that far. So she does have some movement. However, posing is kind of limited. Like, you can get her into poses, but regardless, you're also going to have to pose the wings around her because it's so big. It's so much, and barely any of it is integrated into the robot mode. Nice try. Could have been better, but nice try. But that's my opinions, and we're not the opinions that we're now at time for the robot mode size comparison. So give me a second, and we will be right back with those. Here she is next to Legends class Bumblebee. And you can see that Bumblebee comes right above her abs, her white abs section. We have Deluxe class Chrome Dome, and Chrome Dome is basically a whole head taller than Airazor is. We have Voyager class Megatron. I'm going to raise the camera up a little bit, and how come Megatron, whenever I transform him, never stands straight? Megatron and Airazor just comes up to underneath the red on his chest. Whoops. Six Shock took a fall, and then Megatron just took a header off the table. But here is Six Shot next to Airazor. And you can see Airazor is just a little bit taller than the bottom of his skirt panel. Actually, she makes it up to just the top of the lower third section. And then, of course, here she is next to the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. And you can see how she looks next to them. Yeah. So, Airazor. Basically, it's nice that she's the first toy to be designed to be a female. It took them longer than it really needed to be to do that, but we got it, so that's nice. Hawk mode looks great, actually. The Hawk mode looks very nice with all that chrome, the metallic chrome, and the techie stuff going on. Sea-Wing mode's not great purely because of the Hawk legs not going anywhere really, besides just trying to hide in the back and pretending that they're not there. Robot mode just fails because like the robot mode is kind of skinny as compared to how much is going on in the back here, and just none of that like properly integrating. Like it would probably be hard to like truly integrate most of that into the robot mode, but the fact it doesn't, and the fact there's so much of it that the wings need to be there to support her, or else she just completely falls over. I mean, you may be able to get it. It's possible to get some form of opposing, but I've never found that. I've just never. You're gonna need those wings to get that balance. If someone can balance this with just Airazor herself and nothing supporting her up or anything, I will be very impressed. I will be incredibly impressed, because I don't see how that's possible. I just don't see how it's impossible with how this toy is balanced, and that's just unfortunate. Like I like it. I like the transformation. I also like the fact that she's got the over-shoulder cannons from the Sea-Wing bits, but unfortunately, her robot mode is not great, just because too much backpack and too little robot body support. But that's all I have to say on Airazor. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All of the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.